Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are good. So in this lecture we are going to discuss plane strain condition. In the previous video we have discussed plane stress condition. So in this video we will see what is the concept behind this plane strain, what are the assumptions of this plane strain, and then the derivation of this plane strain condition. Okay. So first we are going to see the assumptions that are made in this plane strain condition. What are that assumptions? The first assumption is the thickness of the section in z direction is very large as compared to x and y. You can see this figure. This is the z direction. The thickness in the z direction, this is the thickness. You can see this is the thickness in the z direction. So in the z direction, the thickness of this figure is more as compared to the x direction and y direction. So this is the first assumption. As we compare it with the plane strain condition, so in plane stress condition, what happened? In the thickness in the z direction is negligible, means the thickness in the z direction was very small, but here the thickness in the z direction is more as compared to the x and y. So it is just opposite of that plane stress condition. Second, the section at any point of the body perpendicular to z direction is constant, or perpendicular to z axis is constant. Means if we take the section at any point of the body perpendicular to the z direction will be constant. So if you will take the section perpendicular to this z direction, you will find the same section. This type of section you will find. Means the section will be constant. Okay, constant in the sense the shape and size as well as the forces acting on that section will be constant. Next, the forces applied to the perpendicular to the z direction do not vary with length. Means these 2 points is connected with each other, because in z direction it is constant. If it is constant, then obviously the force applied on this section will also be constant throughout this axis, right, perpendicular to this z axis. So that's why it is mentioned here, forces applied to the perpendicular to z direction do not vary with length. Means if it is here, then also the forces will be same. At this point also the forces will be same. At this point also the forces will be same. At this point also the forces will be same. So along that z axis if you are moving, then the forces will be same. Means perpendicular to that z direction, right? And the next one is the displacement in z direction is prevented. Means in the z direction there will be no displacement. So here the displacement will be 0 in z direction, right? So these are the 4 assumptions of this plane strain condition. First assumption, what is there? In z direction the thickness will be more. The second one is the section at any point of the body perpendicular to z direction is constant. The force applied on that section perpendicular to z direction do not vary with length, and the displacement in z direction is prevented. Since the displacement is prevented, so epsilon zz value, gamma yz and gamma zx value will be 0. So these are the assumptions of your plane strain condition, right? So if you will compare with plane stress, if you will see the section, then what happens in plane stress? In plane stress condition, what they said, thickness in z direction is nearly equal to 0, because we were neglecting that. But here thickness in z direction is more as compared to x and y. In what condition? In plane strain condition. Okay. So now we'll go for the derivational part of this plane strain condition. How we will derive the equation and equation, or we can say that matrix form of this plane strain condition. So let's go for that derivation. So here we know the equation. We will use the equations whatever we have discussed in this plane stress. We will use that equations only directly here. So epsilon xx will be sigma xx upon E minus nu upon E into sigma yy plus sigma zz. Similarly, epsilon yy will be sigma yy upon E minus nu by E times of sigma xx plus sigma zz. Similarly, epsilon zz will be sigma zz upon E minus nu by E times sigma xx plus sigma yy. Okay, so let's take, this is equation number 1. Let's take, these are the equation number 1. Now you can see here, according to that assumptions, the epsilon zz value should be 0. So this value is 0 only. This value will be your 0. So what we will keep? This equation, I am solving this equation. So 0 will be sigma zz upon E minus nu by E times of sigma xx plus sigma yy. From here, if you will find this, just transfer this here, these terms here. So what will happen? You will get sigma zz value as nu times of sigma xx plus sigma yy. So what we got from here? We got the value of sigma zz from this equation. Now what we need, because we don't know the value of this sigma zz, because we are considering xy direction, so we will replace this sigma zz value here. Where we will replace? In this equation, and in this equation we will replace the sigma zz values. So let's replace here. You can see, then this epsilon xx will be sigma xx upon E minus nu by E times of sigma yy plus sigma zz. What is sigma zz now? Nu times of sigma xx plus sigma yy. Now let's solve this. Sigma xx upon E minus multiply each term, nu by E times of sigma yy plus here minus 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 only, sorry, it will be minus only. So minus nu into nu square upon E sigma xx minus nu square upon E sigma yy. So from here, this is the sigma xx term and this is your sigma yy term. Take it. So from here, what you can take outside, 1 by E you can take outside. From here, sigma xx upon E can be taken as outside. Sigma xx upon E, if you will take it outside, so from here you will get 1 minus here you will get nu square. Same here, minus nu upon E sigma yy you can take outside. So what will be left? Here it will be 1, here it will be plus nu you have taken outside, so nu. Okay, here it will be, you can see, if you will take sigma nu by E sigma yy outside, so here it will be only 1 and here obviously you have taken each and everything outside, so only nu will be left. So this is your epsilon xx. So let's take this as equation number 1. This is your equation number. Nothing is there, just putting this sigma xx value in this equation. Now again, what we will do? We will put sigma zz values here. Sigma zz value is in this equation, epsilon yy equation. So what we will get? So let's see. Epsilon yy is equal to sigma yy upon E minus nu upon E times sigma xx plus sigma zz. So in place of sigma zz, what is there? Nu times of sigma xx plus sigma yy. Same concept we will repeat here. So sigma yy upon E minus nu by E times of sigma xx minus nu square E upon sigma xx minus nu square E upon sigma yy. So again here we can take from here, what we will take constant outside, sigma yy upon E is outside, so 1 minus what is left here, nu square, Okay, from here minus nu upon E sigma xx outside. So what will be left here? 1 plus nu. Okay, this is your psilon yy. So let's take this as equation number 2. This is your equation number 1, this is your equation number 2. You can see epsilon xx is now in terms of sigma xx and sigma yy only. There is no term of sigma zz. And epsilon yy also in terms of sigma yy and sigma xx. There is no term of sigma zz, right? Now your third equation, what will be your third equation? The third equation will be, your third equation will be gamma xy will be tau xy upon g. Okay, this will be your third equation, and here what we need to do, we will replace this g, and we know the value of g, the relation between g and e. What is that relation between g and e? We know g is equal to e by 2 into 1 plus nu. Okay, so we will replace here. Already this thing we have discussed in the previous video, just we need to replace here. So once you will replace, you will get gamma xy is equal to tau xy upon, in place of g, what we will get? E upon 2 into 1 plus nu. Now so 2 into 1 plus nu will go up. Okay, so therefore gamma xy will be 2 into 1 plus nu into tau xy upon E. Okay, this is your equation number 3. Now using this equation 1, 2 and 3, this is equation number 1, equation number 2 and equation number 3, we can write it as a matrix form. So how we can write it as a matrix form? Let's see. So let's make a matrix that is epsilon xx, epsilon yy and gamma xy. This is a strain matrix into some C matrix will be there into a stress matrix. So what is your stress? Stresses are epsilon x, sigma xx, sigma yy and tau xy. Okay, so now see the first equation. So what I am doing, I am taking 1 plus nu by E as common. What I am doing, I am taking 1 plus nu by E as common outside. Okay, 1 plus nu by E. So now see the first equation, epsilon xx in terms of sigma xx. First equation, epsilon xx in terms of sigma xx. What is the coefficient? See here, I have taken 1 by E. 1 by E is outside into 1 plus nu. Okay, so what is the coefficient now in the first equation? You can see here. Here you can see the coefficient. What is that coefficient? This is the coefficient, right? The coefficient is 1 minus nu square upon E. Okay, from here what I have taken outside, I have already taken 1 plus nu by E as outside. So what will be left? So see here, this is in the form a square minus b square. So a square minus b square can be broken into a plus b into a minus b. So already a plus b I have taken outside. So what will be left? A minus b. So what will be in that place? In that place it will be 1 minus nu. So what I will keep here? I will keep here 1 minus nu. So this term will be 1 minus nu. Okay. So epsilon xx in terms of sigma yy. First equation only. Sigma yy. See, from sigma yy I have what I have taken outside. See, 1 plus nu by E. Already taken these terms outside. So what is left now? Only the left is this nu term. Okay, with sign minus. So what will happen? Minus nu. Sorry, let me change the color. Minus nu. And tau xy, there is no term of tau xy in equation number 1. You can see in equation number 1 there is no term of tau xy. So simply we will keep it here 0. Now coming to epsilon yy, second equation. Coming to second equation. First is in terms of sigma xx. So we will see here sigma xx. Here you can see 1 plus nu upon E is already taken as outside. This already we have taken outside. So what is left? The left is minus nu. So here it will be minus nu. In terms of sigma yy, see sigma yy, what is there? 1 minus nu square upon e. Similar to this condition, 1 minus nu square upon e. So what we will keep in that place? 1 minus nu. 1 minus nu. Is there any term of tau xy in second equation? No, there is no term of tau xy. So directly it will be 0. Coming to gamma xy now, third equation, gamma xy. 1 plus, is there any term of sigma xx? No. Is there any term of sigma yy? No. Is there any term of tau xy? Yes. This is the term of tau xy only. And already we have taken 1 plus nu by e outside. So what is left? 2 into tau xy. Tau xy already here. So here it will be only 2. Okay. So if you will write, this is the matrix we have developed by using these three equations. And this can be compressed as epsilon matrix is equal to C matrix into sigma matrix. Now we want in terms of stress, because in the problem, when you will solve the problem, you want a stresses value. So if you want to find this in terms of stress, so what will happen? This stress matrix can be written as strain matrix upon this C matrix, and 1 by C matrix is nothing. The stress matrix is equal to this C inverse into epsilon matrix, and this C inverse matrix is written as D matrix. Therefore this sigma matrix can be written as D matrix into epsilon matrix. So what we need to find now? We need to find this D matrix. Okay, so D matrix is nothing, inverse of C matrix. And what is your C matrix? C matrix is 1 plus nu by E, 1 minus nu, 0, minus nu, 1 minus nu, 0, 0, 0, 2. This is your C matrix. So we need to find the inverse of this matrix. Okay. So therefore if you will find the inverse, you will get the D matrix as, just you need to find the inverse of D matrix. Simple. It is just simple mathematics. So just find the inverse. After finding the inverse, you will get the matrix as E upon 1 plus nu into 1 minus 2 nu, just wait, into 1 minus 2 nu into 1 minus nu, 0, here nu, 1 minus nu, again 0, here also 0, 0, 1 minus 2 nu upon 2. So this is your C inverse. Okay. So the final result, can be written as sigma xx, sigma yy, tau xy is equal to E upon 1 plus nu into 1 minus 2 nu, 1 minus nu, 0, nu 1 minus nu, 0, 0, 0, 1 minus 2 nu upon 2 into epsilon xx, epsilon yy and gamma xy. So this will be your final result. This is the condition of plane strain. This is plane strain condition. Okay, so we have derived this plane strain condition. So in next video we will see the strain displacement relation. Okay, thank you.